has one slide and his wall. It's going to be interesting to see if he can get a pick and get out.
And this is going to be where the information of playing with each other comes in handy. If I'm Jay Chronic, I know exactly what Dinks is planning here, and I'm going to be careful of that aggressiveness. Look at how they're rotating through market, not opting to go through the back. And this could be detrimental, but Dinks is able to take out Sexy Giraffe, and it's a 2v1.
And
Dinks
Jay Chronic goes down.
finishes it off. The Mountaineers back on top.
Yes. Very good round there for West Virginia to cut that lead down 3-2. Very well executed post plant there from Inox and Dinks. Dinks with that aggressive angle. Cumberland just wasn't expecting that Neon to be that far up into Boba. And a well-timed stun from Inox straight into market, hitting that Neon, and a good spray from Dinks. Understanding that they have the finger guns out, so they're going to run straight in. Good spray.
Absolutely. And that is just really telling. They're now able to play both sites. They have a successful plant and post plant on both sites now. So how do they continue this? Well, we're about to see here as Dinks getting aggressive, running in, trying to get some information.
No Cypher on B site. That Omen was solo holding, and now Jay Chronic for Cumberland is going to jump up and try to contest Dinks here through the top of that smoke, but will drop and just throw an Aftershock instead. West Virginia, all 5 on site, set up for a pretty successful post plant. Neon is going to slide in, and Dinks with a great stun around the corner, taking out Jay Chronic on that breach.
Yeah, and you know he's shaking his head at that one all the way in Cumberland. Have to be disappointed. There's A77, takes out Sexy Giraffe, and it is now a 5v3 situation for the Mountaineers with the spike down.
Absolutely. No, Guk is just going to play those smokes. The Stinger does get the kill onto Dinks over in market. So good information, knowing that that Gecko is in market, and it looks like someone is going up to contest, and it will be Inox.
Yeah, and it looks like this might be a save situation here for Cumberland. So we know the Mountaineers are going to tie this up 3-3. It's just a matter of can they get some straggler kills at the end here to try and take away some of that econ that Cumberland built up in these first 3 rounds.
Looks like they're going to go hunting here. Either way, Cumberland will save the 2 guns. West Virginia, a lot of utility used, but no matter, their eco seems to be in a very good spot with 3 consecutive rounds won.
Yeah, that's going to be unfortunate there. Actually, they lost the Cypher at the end, so that's just going to be one surviving player in that, I believe you said Gino, is it? But now look at that, a full buy here, and they are going to need to win this round, or they're going to put the Mountaineers in a very, very fortuitous situation.
That was probably a good idea by that Cypher of Cumberland to die to Spike. You know, you don't lose the money. You know, you didn't really have that good of a loadout, so you get the money to buy this round. Either way, we're going to see a bit of a different strategy here. Dinks is going to run up elbow early and look towards mid.
Yeah, and they know he is there and lurking, and it's just a matter of where does he go next. Looks like he's going to try to get this kill through market door.
They got a little bit of poke damage on that Cumberland Omen, and Dinks is going to swing this, and he finds Jay Chronic around that box. Great spray there on the brand new Phantom skin in the bundle.
Yeah, and it looks like he just had Jay Chronic's number, knew he was right around there, and did not really have the loadout to be able to swing it himself. So he just kind of sprayed and prayed, but when you're Dinks, it's not much praying going on.
Absolutely, and West Virginia taking the site early. A great little Sova drone to poke out, get some information. We're going to see a bit of a lineup here, but Sexy Giraffe 3 is going to swing Dinks from main and take him out. So now West Virginia's down 2 already. Dinks and Excite go down to this sliding Neon. Neon so difficult to hit.
Yeah, and very unfortunate there. Gave a little bit of
A77 goes one, and he gets a second. A77 holding down his angle like a true Cyphered would. And now it's just up to Geo, and Guk gets the kill. West Virginia clutches that one out.
It looked a little rocky there, but then A77, my goodness gracious, and we're gonna have a timeout here by Cumberland. And, you know, well placed, if you ask me.
Absolutely.
That was a round that you needed to win, and they were not able to come out on top. Mountaineers really found a little bit of footing here, if you ask me.
Absolutely.
So,
And I believe,
Yeah.
I don't want to be wrong, but I believe that Sexy Giraffe
15.
12 is Chase, 3 is Case, and then 15 is Jay Chronic.
Okay.
So we are seeing Jay Chronic on that breach.
Yeah.
They changed their names.
Hey,
Don't like it.
Try to trick us.
Don't like it. Makes it really difficult to cast, but here we are. West Virginia, massive eco advantage. I mean, everybody on that Cumberland roster very low on the eco. We already see a Stinger and a Light Shield, a Sheriff and a Light Shield.
Yeah.
You know, when you lose that many rounds in a row, especially on Sunset, which is a defensive-sided map.
Yeah, so now you're talking about losing 4 in a row after you looked so strong for the first 3. And really, it wasn't that much of a blowout on the first 3. It was the Mountaineers just not being able to finish. And now, I'll tell you what, they sure are wrapping up these rounds pretty nicely. And I mean, A77 has really been putting in some work, but Dinks obviously at the top of that leaderboard, currently 11-5, fragging like fraggers do.
Absolutely. We're going to see a bit of a broken buy here from Cumberland. A couple of Stingers, a Guardian and a Bulldog, and then I believe a Sheriff, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, Dinks is going to peek out early, but Cumberland, with the 2 Stingers, they're going to try to take the fight to West Virginia, but takes you draft 3. Gets taken out before he can get out. Gio gets one with the Spectre, excuse me, in a blind onto Guk, but Guk stays out in the open, gets taken out. West Virginia is already down 3 players to 4.
Yeah, and it's going to be a little bit difficult here because they lost those players in such a crucial moment during that setup where they were trying to decide where they want to go. Now, the big question is, are they able to take out this Cypher on the other side? Excite seems to know he is there and just waiting for him to peek, but that line by Jay Chronic is going to be so good, but they're not able to take him out, and Inox actually takes out
Spike down.
the Omen. And now, in a 2v3 scenario, the blind comes out from the get-go. Excite trying to send the Strand out to get more information to that Cypher ult. It's going to come online. A77 said, no, thank you.
Absolutely. That was a good setup crossfire there from Inox and Excite. A77 a little bit late on that lurk, but he is able to clean it up, and now it's a 2v2, 2v1. Now A77 picks up the spike, and it's just Gio on that get-go.
Yeah, and it really seems like that is a very common theme here. Gio seems to get left out to dry at the end of these rounds, really having some impactful moments. But look at that camera! A wonderful little nod there by A77 after that plant, and it's just very, very unfortunate because you have to wonder, why are these blinds not coming through? I mean, you had every opportunity to take out these guys, and it just didn't come in the end, and now it is a 2v1 scenario, and they're ready.
I'm not sure why this Gecko is fighting this, you know. You think he picks up a gun and just goes to save, but I think he has an idea he can win this. But with the 2v1, they're just going to stall this one out. A little jump swing like Call of Duty Excite. Doesn't matter if you're in the air. I guess he still is going to take that out in West Virginia. Stacks their 5th win in a row.
I mean, that was just an insane amount of recoil control there by Excite with the jump out. I mean, who does that anymore? Where are you seeing this? And now, look at this. You're seeing a full buy from Cumberland. Once again, a must-win round. And we said that 2 rounds ago, and they weren't able to come out on top. The Mountaineers have to be feeling a little bit good. However, look at those ultimates. Just the Cypher and the Neon ultimate, but we saw the Neon ultimate from Dinks be so monumentally important in, I believe it was the first round the Mountaineers won, so at 3-1, and we'll see if it comes into play again.
Absolutely. This is essentially a must-win for Cumberland. I mean, if you lose this, your eco is in an even worse shape than it has been, losing 5 rounds in a row. And Guk getting ready to throw a smoke over short on a site. Here comes the early thrash from Cumberland. It will connect on Dinks, and the Cumberland Neon swings and takes him out. No refrag from West Virginia just yet, but it looks like they will kind of stay around there so that Gecko can't pick up the thrash again. But no, they're going to go ahead and try to full rotate. A77 is really deep onto B site all by himself and gets taken out by, I believe that is Chase.
Yeah, and it almost looks like A77 was about to swing hallway after Dinks got thrashed, but it just never came to fruition, and then that's a free kill with no refrag. That's very unfortunate here at a 5v3 situation. The Mountaineers trying to take this B site, as it looks like still a majority of those Cumberland players watching A. They think they still want to take it there.
Absolutely, and after taking down A77, it looks like Cumberland is just going to reallocate the resources over towards mid, and Excite gets the jump on Jay Chronic, and Guk gets the jump over onto Fox as well. So now it's all even up in a 3v3, and with 12 seconds left, Guk gets another, and Inox gets a free plant, and all of a sudden, Cumberland goes from up 2 to down 1.
Yeah, and I have no idea what was happening with that Omen. It looks like he was just kind of in shock, standing there looking at Guck like it was in a mirror almost. And look at that shot, able to take down the Gecko blind. Can he take out? Yes!
Guck with the spray and the smoke narrowly misses that Gecko's head. He pulls out the shorty and he's going to hold it. That Gecko will run away. However, I don't know if he'll re-peek. No, he's just going to save that gun.
Yeah, and once again, it is just him left to die. Gino, can he stay alive? No, he cannot.
West Virginia gets the white.
Maw.
Holy cow, I mean, I feel like Cumberland had the right idea for a minute there. I mean, you have the breach holding A short. The only issue is you only had that Omen top mid holding any entry into B site. So when West Virginia lurks up like that, so coordinated and so, you know, surprising, I guess. Nobody's going to expect you to lurk up mid like that with 3 players, and getting those 3 kills was insane, and West Virginia increases their lead.
Yeah, and I mean, now
6-3.
Look at this broken buy from Cumberland here. You have 2 Bulldogs, I believe, and not much else. It's going to be very difficult to try and get any traction here on the side of Cumberland Rising. Mountaineers opting for a little bit of a split here, trying to get some information before they really commit to a point.
Yeah, absolutely. And A77 with this camera in B short, trying to take a peek at anybody walking out, but nobody will. Excite stunned early, and that Neon was running at him, but great shot there from West Virginia to keep Sexy Draft 3 at bay on that Neon.
Even with the blind and into the ultimate, Excite is able to come out on top. Mountaineers now in a 5v4 scenario. He took a little bit of damage, but I don't really think it is going to.
I don't think A77's camera caught Fox here. Or maybe it did. Inox ready for it and takes him out, and now a full execute over onto A. The Aftershock is going to come out, and it's going to get a little bit of tick damage on Jay Chronic, and Dinks cleans him up. Another stun and a spray through his smoke, and this is going to be wraps for Cumberland.
And once again, I believe it's Gino that is the only one left. What is happening here?
He's walking straight to the cross.
Have to wonder what is going through their mind.
A77 just walking through the molly like it doesn't matter, and he will go down. Gio gets 2, but cleaned up finally by Inox. West Virginia is up 7-3.
I mean, when you're playing in a bonus round like that, you kind of have credits to spare. So walking through the molly is not exactly the craziest thing that we could have seen there.
I mean, you're looking at this eco difference. I mean, West Virginia is just demolishing this eco game.
Yeah, and it's very, very hard for Cumberland to try and get any traction because they have their broken buys and then they full buy the next round and they're just losing both rounds. So it doesn't really matter what you do, you're still losing the round. You have to wonder what is going to work here. Perhaps that Omen ult and that breach ult, but I just don't know.
It looks like they're going to play a bit more passive here.
Yeah.
They have that Neon peeking out B, but on A site, just 2 players playing over towards elbow. Dinks might get a free walk-up if he decides to. He will wait for this Sova drone first. And Excite does have that Sova ult in his pocket if he wants to use it. He does hit a target. And he's going to throw that shock dart, maybe looking to get any of those trips that are blocking off elbow.
Yeah.
Either way, West Virginia's going to do a full rotate here through bottom mid. All 5 players shutting off all sound. And Cumberland, I don't think they're ready for it. Still 3 stacked over on B, though.
Yeah, I don't think that they are prepared for this at all. I mean, look at the concentration that they have onto A, and the peak is going to be in the favor.
Guck's going to go down. Once again, you lose your smokes early.
Yeah.
Inox does get the refrag.
Yeah, we're back into a 4v4 scenario, and here comes Dinks trying to go through. That wall goes up, but
the breach ult from Jay Chronic, it will hit Dinks in the Aftershock. Someone might get stuck in that. No kills just yet. They do get out without the damage, but that Omen for Cumberland and Jay Chronic getting 4 back to back to back, and Cumberland
was just neat.
Back into a winning the win column.
Absolutely. I mean, that was just very much necessary if they wanted any hope of getting back into this half. However, speaking of the half, last round. So what do we need to see here? These ultimates have to be used, but that ult economy is in the favor of the Mountaineers. So what are we going to see here? Inox preparing early.
I'd like to see an early ult from Excite. It worked the last time he used that ult. I'd like to see him just kind of soul read one of the sites, throw that ult, try to get some chip damage, have Dinks run in with the ult after, and Dinks is going to run in with the ult mid, following just like I called. Excite pops his ult, gets one. Inox following up with the finger guns, can't finish that Cypher. Either way, Inox getting a kill over on a Fox, and it is an even 3v3. Inox does get his breach ult online, and he's going to plant for stairs.
Yeah, and it might be an even 3v3, but a positional advantage for sure for the Mountaineers. Going to be able to back up into B main and just be able to sit here. That Thrash probably not going to be able to do much.
The Thrash was probably just for information. Either way, that Aftershock is going to get a little bit of chip damage onto Inox. Nothing too much to worry about yet, but no ult used from Inox just yet. They will smoke themselves off. I love that smoke on B site because now you can just spam. Wingman is on Spike though. They get it taken out. Breach does pop that ult for West Virginia, and they clean it up through the smoke, and West Virginia takes first half of Sunset 8-4.
Yeah, and I mean, takes first half of Sunset 8-4 very, very convincingly. You know, you had a little bit of a worry there in the first three, but it's just now you're not necessarily as worried. Mountaineers looked very, very solid. I mean, those plans by Inox, those calls, I loved every single one.
And I mean, just look at the stat lines. I mean, Dinks 14 and 9. The Neon on top for Cumberland, but only at 12 and 11. So a bit of a fragging difference there. But one thing I would like to see out of West Virginia this half is the two main rounds that we lost was when the Omen Guck dies first.
Yeah.
You, especially on Sunset, when that post-plant smoke is so important, you can't let your Omen die mid every round.
Absolutely, and especially now going on to defense, this is a defensive map. Like you said, they cannot afford to lose their smokes here.
Yeah, and I believe this is Chase on. The Neon is going to run in early. Excite sprinting over with that Ghost in hand, and Cumberland not taking too much space over on B site. They are leaving Boba to be owned by West Virginia, but either way, Foxy getting two with that Ghost will get cleaned up by Dinks, but Cumberland retains the player advantage. Ooh, Inox just a second too late to take out that Wingman plant. And he's just going to spam that smoke with the Classic, maybe walk up a little bit, but Jay Chronic is holding it. Does get hit with the Neon Stun. Great anti-blind from Inox, but can't secure the kill onto Jay Chronic. Guck gets one. Dinks with the Ghost now. Gets one. Let's see how his movement on Neon is right now. He's going to tap the Spike.
Very difficult.
He's getting jump peeked and can't do much when you have to hold Spike.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when you need to stick it and you have the enemy clamping down from either side, it's going to be a lose-lose scenario unless some craziness happens. But look,
Absolutely.
I don't think the Mountaineers looked terrible there. Perhaps a little bit of miscommunication. It was a little bit of a rush from that A site back over to that B. They had really committed to defending that A site, and then they had to play essentially a retake.
Absolutely, and something we, you know, are kind of remiss that we didn't mention pregame is West Virginia struggled in pistol rounds a lot last year. Something we talked about every single week, and that is 2 pistol rounds lost already. And we see Cumberland with a bit of a bye here, with a Vandal and 2 Bulldogs and then a couple of Spectres. So, not leaving much room for error if you're Cumberland with this forced bye. And doesn't matter because Dinks is going to run out early and get taken out, and Cumberland is just going to sit a little bit of a default here.
Yeah, and I would like to point out, Dinks, extremely aggressive going through A main, just got absolutely tapped by that Spectre.
Absolutely, and now Excite looming around this top mid area. 3 players for Cumberland still looking over A main, probably trying to catch a late rotate. And Spike will be running around there as well, down by the spawn room.
Yeah, and no plant yet, really.
Both players taking this, or both teams, excuse me, taking this very slow. And it looks like Cumberland finally made up their mind. They're going to leave A and walk over towards B. And West Virginia, unfortunately, right when they do that, they're moving over towards A. Both teams have fully cut noise, so this is likely going to be a free plant for Cumberland.
Yeah, it is, and it's going to be
30
very
seconds
interesting
left.
to see how they play this. It's like trying to get
Spike
a shock dart down, but it doesn't look like it's going to affect them much as that spike goes down onto B.
Absolutely. Spike down for Cumberland, which is massive. West Virginia still down a player and down on the guns as this is an eco round. Little jump peek there for Excite. He is going to throw a scan into main. A77 takes some spam damage, avoids the molly though. And now this is why Sunset B is so hard to retake, because you just put all of your players in main, smoke yourself off, and spam stairs. And when you only have classics can't do much. Inox does get an exit kill, which is huge. That will be a gun lost. Looks like Guck is going to chase, try to get another little eco exit kill, but he cannot. Not a bad eco round for West Virginia. You do get that Cypher, but not ideal.
Yeah, and now they're going to be on their back foot a little bit. Only have a 2-round buffer for the lead. But again, it's 5 rounds, and they are able to come out on top on Sunset.
Yeah.
A map that they are
We've seen
notoriously so anti.
So anti-Sunset. Seen it once and we lost. So
Perhaps
we'll see how
could
this
make
shakes
the
out, but
1-1.
hey, 500 is not bad. Either way, we're going to see Guck with an early blind and a great soul read there. I'm not sure if he thought that the Neon was going to be there. Either way, perfect blind there to get an early pick, and that is a Vandal down for Cumberland.
Yeah,
No, sorry, a Spectre.
Yeah, and it's going to be very influential in how the Mountaineers kind of respond and how they play this now. You know, you have a gun that you didn't have before, and perhaps you could play this a little bit differently. A77 with the Vandal here. Be very interested to see what happens.
He spotted some ankles over on mid-elbow there with his camera, but I'm not sure if he knows that Chase, I believe, is over here on the Omen.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Either way, Cumberland looks to be trying to fight for some of this mid control. Excite kind of hanging out around top mid. Dinks will get stunned by that J-Chronic breach stun. Either way, looks like they're going to try to converge over onto B. A77 pops both cages, so he will not have cages for the rest of this the rest of this round, excuse me.
Yeah, and you have to wonder if that's a little bit similar to losing your smokes early, especially now trying to just hold them off. Guck in a bit of a sticky situation.
Oh, he's going to repeat a perfect blind, but the spray takes him out.
Going to be kind of unfortunate there. A 4v3 scenario in the favor of the Mountaineers, though. Here comes a little bit of a rush. Both Inox.
Both players at low HP from, I believe it was Guck. Inox cleans it up, and Excite gets that last kill. Great execute there from West Virginia to shut down that execute from Cumberland over onto A site. Great communication.
Yeah, I mean, Inox really kept his cool there, able to take on the 2v1, no problem. And now the Mountaineers have a little bit of cash to spend, and it looks like they will. Perhaps a little bit of a broken buy here, waiting to see on what Guck will go with. Maybe he sticks with the classic, trying to save up a little bit of credits for next round.
He may. Either way, we're going to see a Phantom, a couple of Vandals, and then a Guardian. And Dinks is going to take an aggressive position here, throwing out his stun early, and he will hold B main. Couple of shock darts. West Virginia is really going to go all in on this.
Yeah, you're getting very, very aggressive here. I really don't hate it, but you also have to make sure that you have that contingency plan if it doesn't work out. And now a little bit of information for Guck. They know someone is in that elbow, but who is it going to be is the question. I'm pretty sure Guck does not know.
And Guck with the judge sitting in his own smoke. He does get stunned. The Neon is going to try to force the issue. He will re-smoke and continue to sit there with that judge. I'm not sure if anybody's going to walk in, but if they do, they're in for a bad time.
Oh yeah, monster
and
on
you
the
see this
loose.
Neon just attempting to lurk. What's going to happen? Guck not really prepared.
Cumberland does have 4 players over towards B, and Neon does take out Guck there.
There.
Yeah, but a nice little headshot on to the Neon. Had to do some damage, possibly allowing the rest of the Mountaineers to finish it up. But we'll see how this plays out, and it looks like it
30
is still
seconds
going
left.
to be a heavy B
Thrash
commit
isn't
as
done with
that
you.
Neon comes back around. Here comes Thrash from Cumberland. See how that plays out. Dinks able to take out Sexy Drive 3.
CC City there for Dinks. Gets thrashed, gets stunned, gets blinded. Not much you can do there, but the 2 Neons traded out, and they're going to try to spray Wingman, and they barely miss. No, they did. They hit that the Wingman, and now Cumberland has to plant now, and they do get it off. And unfortunately, after that plant, it's just Inox in a 1v3 with the Guardian in hand. Cumberland narrowly escaping a poorly executed plant.
Yeah, and if that had been just a couple of seconds later, that would have been a round win here for the Mountaineers, as we are going to go to a little bit of an econ round as they are just going those light shields and sheriffs. Cumberland, look at that buy. That's going to be some Phantoms, Vandals, and then a judge from Sexy Giraffe 3.
Yep. And you know, this is the biggest issue with losing your pistol rounds is you get such a big lead in the first half. It was, I believe, 8-4. Then you come in the second half, you lose your pistol, you get outgunned on eco. And then instead of a 4-map lead, you only have a 2-map lead. And that's what we're seeing now still. 9-7, and Guck getting the kitchen sink thrown at him, does escape, and Foxy taking out Dinks early.
I know exactly where.
Guck with a couple of sheriff shots though will pick up a judge from that neon. Only 6 HP, however. Pulling out that TP will do a little bit of a fake TP here, and the judge gets one, can't secure the second, and it's just Inox once again in a 1v3. Likely will pick up the sheriff, and he's gonna try to fight this. One blind in his pocket. Can't get any damage done, and Cumberland cuts the lead to 1.
Yeah, and that was a just very fast round there by Cumberland. Mountaineers not really ready for that, it seems, and here is going to come a timeout from Coach Terms.
Absolutely, a very much well-needed timeout for West Virginia. You have, I mean, like I just finished saying, you have that 4-map lead. You lose the pistol round. You get outgunned in the eco, and now all of a sudden, it's 9-8.
Yeah, and 9-8 compared to that, 8-4 at the beginning of this half is not exactly the situation that you wanted to be seen in. But look, it's not impossible here.
It's not.
It is. My gosh, how many rounds?
13, first of 13.
Yeah, 13. I know.
4 wins away.
I know what I'm talking about. And it is not impossible here, but the Mountaineers really need to calm down and cannot let Cumberland start to get on that steamroll like they did, the Mountaineers, that is, in the first half.
Absolutely, and I'd like to see them play a little bit farther back onto site. I mean, this is a defensive-sided map, and Cumberland is doing a very good job of baiting out that Cypher util early. So, rather than having Dinks run out and force the issue A main, maybe take a step back, force them to play around that Cypher util, give them a couple early smokes, and kind of milk the clock a bit.
Yeah, and now it is a matter of what they were told and what they cooked up in that timeout to see what they can do here.
Absolutely, and Inox is going to throw an early flash there. Excite will back up through elbow, and here we see West Virginia playing a little bit more passive.
Yeah, and this is exactly what you said you wanted to see. You wanted to see them play back. You wanted to see them play not necessarily more scared, but a little more conservative. And that's exactly what's happening here, but don't talk too soon. Inox walking up a little bit into mid. Dinks has his back, though, and it looks like it's going to be a commit onto that A site, perhaps, for Cumberland. And, it is fairly well defended by the Mountaineers, but playing a little bit back. Inox gets the first kill.
Inox, after getting hit with that Cypher camera, forced to back out, but does catch the swing from that Cumberland Omen. And now Cumberland is forced to make a decision because you're down a player. And West Virginia still haven't really shown their hand just yet. They don't know if anyone's on A site other than that early breach stun. And now they're going to send 3 into elbow. And that drone is going to catch the neon, but not much else. Excite dodges the blind, or excuse me, the stun, and what a shot. One tap by the Guardian, looking for another, but stunned, forced to back up, and he will throw his sonar dart.
There they are.
Yeah, and a very, very nice kill there.
Oh, and a great stun. Inox knows exactly where to throw his ult, and Dinks capitalizes. They do have spike. They don't have to push through the smoke. Just sit, camp the spike, and it looks like West Virginia might take a 2-map lead here with only 10 seconds left.
Yeah, and if that clock gets
10
down to
seconds
4,
left.
unfortunately, there is just not enough time left for Cumberland, and it looks like that will be the case, but the Mountaineers are still going to try and pick off these kills after this clock winds down.
I want to see Dinks swing this so bad.
Unfortunately,
not.
It looks like we will not.
Please stay alive. I hate
West
losing
Virginia will
friends.
take that 2-point lead, 10-8, and now Cumberland, their eco's looking a little bit shaky. They have the 3 rifles and a sheriff. We might see that neon buy. Okay, they do buy Vandal. I was gonna say they might buy another judge. So we will see 3 Vandals, a Phantom, and a Guardian up against that full buy of West Virginia retained from last round. And it looks like we're gonna see a similar setup with Dinks holding that top mid angle and A77 with his smokes over on B site.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that looked like the philosophy the Mountaineers were taking here, once again playing a little bit more passively. A77 not trying to peek that A main, A main any harder than he needs to.
Yeah, we see that Omen for Cumberland playing very, very far back. kind of holding his spawn in case we see an Inox lurk, a little flank over through that attacker spawn. Either way, Cumberland reroutes their attack from that B main over toward mid, where Dinks and Excite are holding the top of, but with that smoke, it's hard to tell where Cumberland will walk, and Neon's getting ready to walk into market. Duck is going to throw a little bit of a one-way there.
Yeah, and actually, I don't know if you noticed, but Excite got a little bit of information with his sonar dart, and that's some really, really early and good information, especially when you're talking about where Cumberland is trying to decide to go, because they just kind of got caught out in mid, and now they're being forced to rotate back, and it looks like they're going to try and take this viewpoint.
Absolutely, all the trips still down here for A77, and Excite does take out Foxy with that ult. So that is a massive start here for this West Virginia retake.
One enemy remaining.
Oh my god, gets two. Excite gets it one with his gun rather than his bow and arrow, and a little TP to try to escape here for this Cumberland Omen. He's at such low HP, gets one, but taken out by Dinks, and great ult and utility usage for West Virginia to pinch that Cumberland team.
Yeah, I really liked what happened there. You saw a lot of that kind of planning go into effect. You saw a lot of those utils used perfectly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Excite has been locked in. I believe that is
Three
three
for three.
ults with 3 kills,
Yeah.
followed up by a kill with the gun, and Guck following that up with a double kill of his own, and a great little push out from Dinks to finish it off, not let any guns go free. And West Virginia, we needed to see a good retake. We haven't seen a very good retake yet tonight, and that is something that they struggled on a lot last spring as their retakes. So now, an unknown map for West Virginia, and it seems to be going pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, look, I haven't really seen anything too detrimental here. But, I think that round was really a shining moment, and I'd like to see a little bit more of that.
Absolutely.
Okay, you showed me you can do it. Now do it a little bit more. But I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far on Sunset, but it is not over yet. They still have 2 more rounds to win before they want to go up 1-0.
And another busted bye for this Cumberland team. I mean,
And
their
even more
eco
than
has
this
just been, exactly, it's been very tough. I mean, you finally get a round or 2 going, and then you just get wiped, and then you lose the next one as well. It's been eco hell for this Cumberland team. However, they do have a few rifles and a couple Guardians, but West Virginia still haven't lost their guns for a while, and another great blind there from Inox to take out. I believe that is Chase on the Neon, and a one-way Guck will spam. I mean, Inox and Guck are just soul reading this A-site push every round.
It was just so well prepared for. If you're Cumberland, you're not going to think, oh yeah, this is going to get countered like that, but it does. And now you are down, and Gino is on a life support machine. He might as well be with that amount of health, and the Mountaineers are quite healthy and ready to go. And now they know that there's going to be a rotate coming here soon. And look at mid, the peak doesn't bring anything to fruition.
Thanks for the jump peek. Will he slide out? And it looks like he will. Gio, like you said, got down to 1 HP with that little spam from Guck over on that A site. And Cumberland still, once again, they're going to try their luck pushing through market. Excite holding that top, narrowly misses the information with that jiggle peek, but Inox is there.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, it is trying their luck, as Guck is going to be able to take out Foxy, and now it is still 5v1 v none. That's a flawless round there for the Mountaineers as they take it to match point.
What a great round from West Virginia, taking it to match point like you just said. And I mean, just look at those stat lines. I mean, Dinks at the 20 and 13, Guck 17 and 12. I mean, everybody is doing their job and doing it well, and Cumberland has to contest this match point with 2 Guardians, a Bucky, and a Stinger.
Yeah, and it is going to be a little bit difficult for them here, especially when you're looking at just the momentum that the Mountaineers have. Now, it is going to be important to note 3 ultimates on the side of Cumberland, and if they start to get down here, they're going to have to use them.
Absolutely, the 3 ults, and Dinks with a great scan from Excite, and he takes out Foxy early. No fear in Dinks' heart. Either way, like you said, the 3 ults, one of them is down.
Yeah.
You don't have that Cypher ult, and Guck gets taken out trying to pop that Omen ult for information a little bit too early in an odd spot, and he will go down. But Dinks cleans up that Omen, and they still have that J Chronic Rolling Thunder in their pocket for Cumberland. And as we all know here at WVU, those can be deadly.
Yeah, but now you also look, that spike is down. It's going to be so hard. Inox able to take out enemy Neon, and now it's a 3v1.
And a wall bang from Excite.
Standing ahead.
J Chronic has to pop that ult here, sitting in elbow, and he will. He'll get 2. Can he get this kill? He does take out A77. We've seen J Chronic win fights like this in the past. The shorty gets some chip damage.
Now.
He gets a second. He can't get the third. Inox's former IGL ends Sunset with an almost J Chronic clutch that we've seen so many of.
And I mean, look, if you're in either room there, you have to help but laugh just a little bit. The last kill of the map coming from his former IGL, and it's a 1v1 scenario after what could have been a very good clutch. But the Mountaineers, for the first time, we get to say, take Sunset.
Take Sunset. They take Sunset 13 to 8. A great win for West Virginia. Huge for morale. Your first map in NACE play with this new roster against a former teammate, as we've said for many times now. But either way, I really liked what West Virginia did tonight on that Sunset map. I mean, on attack, you take attack 8-4. You kind of just let it kind of reminded me a little bit of how C9 plays around Oxy. Because, you know, C9's whole strat is kind of just like Oxy go kill. And that's a little bit of what we did with Dinks, but Inox, with those calls, those rotates, the breach flashes were on point, that his Rolling Thunders were on point, and Excite with his Sova utility just let Dinks do whatever he wanted whenever he wanted.
Yeah, it was extremely impressive, and to be able to say the Mountaineers take Sunset is a sentence I really never thought I would. But do not go anywhere, because we're going to be back here with map 2 as the Mountaineers take it to game point.
All right, welcome back, everybody, and we're getting map 2, which is Haven, and we're going to see another Neon duel. Actually, exact same comp for West Virginia, and it's looking to be the same for Cumberland as well. We're waiting for that. We will get a Sova instead of a Gecko, so a mirror here for West Virginia and Cumberland.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting because now we have Gino on the breach.
Yep.
And I do believe that is Jay Chronic on the Omen.
No, that's Jay Chronic on the Sova.
Oh, on the Sova.
They need to fix their usernames. Put them back to normal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought he was 12.
Yeah, that is going to be no, he's 15. I believe it is Case that is 12 and Chase that is 3.
Got it.
So not only did they make their usernames confusing,
Yes.
but the real usernames are also very similar, Chase and Case.
Yeah.
So I'm almost certain that is Chase on the Neon and Case on the Omen. Either way, mirror matchup. West Virginia will start on attack. This is generally an attacker-sided map, depending on playstyle, depending on comp. However, with this mirror, West Virginia is going to have to try to take a lead here early on attack.
Yeah, absolutely. In any mirror match, if you get behind, you're just essentially fighting through a thicket of thorns. You're going through all of those ultimate buildups. You're going through all of the util buildups, and it is just not a good situation because you know exactly what is going to happen, and you just can't even stop it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and you know, we would be remiss if we didn't mention pistol rounds. West Virginia, not known for their pistol round excellence, but either way, here we see Dinks early is going to fight for Garage here with that Guck dart in for some info. Window will be smoked out, and we're going to see Chase make his way over into the corner for free through that Omen smoke, and West Virginia's going to back off and try to possibly hit B here, but Garage is still pretty open for the taking if Inox wants to stun through it, but he won't. Looks like he's going to try to stun A.
Yeah, and it looks like it is a little bit of a rotate back towards A. Perhaps they decided against that B push, just not enough information. And now looks like going to be a commit. Inox looking for a blind here to just initiate some kind of action here on either side. And we'll see whether or not he can get it through to anyone.
Absolutely, and here comes the shock from Inox, and Foxy takes out Excite on that execute. West Virginia still, Dinks taking a lot of space. He will walk into the smoke. Inox takes out Jay Chronic over toward mid, and now Inox is going to be fighting all alone on B. Uses up his blind, can't take out Case, and now it is a 4v3 in favor of Cumberland for this retake on A. Dinks holding this little cubby angle, and the blind comes through for Guck, and Dinks will swing but can't hit the right click, and A77, however, does take out Foxy on that Cypher counterpart, and A77 gets another one, going a little crazy with his classic. Geo does finally finish A77's crazy pistol run. However, Guck cleans it up, and West Virginia takes a pistol round, finally.
Yeah, I mean, Geo just really able to kind of stay alive just a little bit more there, take out some more of those WVU members, but in the end, it doesn't matter. The West Virginia Mountaineers took a pistol round.
Absolutely, they did, and now we're getting a Guardian, a Phantom, 2 Phantoms, a Bulldog, and a Excite Outlaw.
I was just about
an
to
Excite
say.
Outlaw. Listen, I will say, I have never not bought an Outlaw on Eco or anti-Eco. But Sova with the Outlaw on attack, I mean, it makes sense when you're going here to peak C, but we typically like to see Dinks with that scoped weapon.
Yeah, but look, Excite is trying to make a name for himself, perhaps. And what is he going to be able to do?
Either
look
way.
at this hard rush on B.
The drone will come out. Dinks is going to look to run at someone with that Spectre. I don't think he caught the Neon with the Bucky and Cubby, and they didn't. Dinks is just going to get stunned. This is the first Bucky shot, but Chase somehow cleans that up. Now West Virginia does even it up, but Excite very, very low HP. One shot from any of the weapons on the side of Cumberland. Guck's just going to spam through that smoke, and West Virginia's going to make their way to A site.
That was just a very, very weird take. I do not know how Dinks stayed alive as long as he did. A very good blind there. I actually think that does catch Foxy just barely, but now A77 going to have to go against his counterpart.
A77, Foxy's right there. A77 had no idea, and that Sheriff comes in clutch, takes out A77, and just like that, West Virginia is down a man and has a man at 1 HP. Guck is going to look to execute C-Site. He's the first one in. Great scan there. What a dart from Excite to get that wallbang with the Outlaws. What it's so good at. And Inox follows it up with a Bulldog. And West Virginia turned the tides here. 2 players low, though. And a Spectre from Jay Chronic is going to get 3. I've never been on this side of a Jay Chronic clutch, but boy, does it not feel good.
Oh my gosh, a little thrifty win there from Jay Chronic. You love to see it if he's on your team, but unfortunately, today he's not.
You dirty dog, Jay Chronic. You dirty dog.
Oh my goodness, I'm just having so much fun. You know, I almost want to be excited for him, but I just can't because now it is tied up 1-1. The Mountaineers losing that second.
I mean, when you look past the novelty of getting Jay Chronic clutched, you know, when you're West Virginia, you know that he picked up that Spectre. The Spectre died back sight. You know someone's going to have it. So when you have 2 players at low HP, you can't stack up like that and give them a free spread. You have to spread out on site and play that post plant a little bit more safely. They did not do that, however, and now it is tied 1-1.
Yeah.
And now West Virginia, full sheriffs.
Full sheriffs, and we'll see if the sheriff can come to town because the Mountaineers need a win here. It looks like a possible full B push, and it is. They're going to plant B. A77 trying to come from behind, able to get the
shot there
kill.
onto Jay Chronic, excuse me. Either way, Dinks. I misspoke. I meant to say Dinks. Either way, Dinks is going to walk into B side, get the plant, get another point closer to that ultimate. He only has 2 toward those finger guns, but Chase takes out Guk backside.
Yeah, and that's going to be big here for Cumberland, and that's another one.
Ooh, Excite gets 1 in the smoke, though, and looking for a second. Can he get it? He does. So West Virginia takes out 3. So not a bad eco round. However, you do go down 2-1.
Yeah, and like you said, not terrible by any sense of the word. You take out 3, and you're able to kind of make them scared a little bit, but it didn't look great, in all honesty, if you're talking about just how they executed that post-plant hold. It seemed just a little bit fragmented and not really ready. A77 all the way over, nearly pushing towards A, perhaps just trying to watch their backside, but it ended up not working, and we're going to see a full buy here from both sides.
Yeah, West Virginia, 4 players still on those light shields, but like you said, a bit of a disjointed post plant there. I would have liked to see Dinks kind of wait for that plant because he planted a little bit early and nobody was really set up in their positions. It enabled Cumberland to get a couple easy picks on the West Virginia setup. Either way, we're going to see 3 walk through window here. It's going to be Guk, Excite, and Inox. Walking into B, it is tripped off by that Cypher, and an early smoke is going to come out. Dinks makes some noise, though, with that sprint, and he's going to stun and run in. Excite is going to once again plant very early. The smoke's on the right side of B, blocking off that entrance. Inox is going to throw that aftershock and maybe swing this. Excite looking down the barrel of a 1v2, and on the other side, Chase gets 2 with that ult. Finally shut down by Guk, and Guk narrowly misses that reaction onto Jay Chronic, and Cumberland takes this round, goes up 3-1.
Yeah, a little bit of a mental disconnect there. You have to know that that push is coming, and when that neon is going to rush you, you have to expect there's going to be someone behind, especially with the information you know about the push coming from that C site. A little bit of a disappointment there on the side of the Mountaineers, now going down 3-1. However, this is not a situation that I would say we are unaccustomed to, as this is essentially how Sunset started. The Mountaineers did not really get their footing until that 4th and 5th round.
I mean, the pretty glaring difference, though, is this is generally an attacker-sided map, and now you're in round 5 with a Sheriff, a Bulldog, and a couple of Stingers and full light shield. And also looking back on that last round, you know, I'm not sure why you're planting early there when you know that Neon has the ult. And once again, Chase with that Vandal is going to slide up onto Guk in heaven, kind of soul reading that Omen ult. Excite, though, remains perfect with his Sova ultimates thus far tonight. Gets another kill with that one, but West Virginia just getting CC'd into the moon, and Excite will get the plant down, but at what cost? West Virginia finally gets set up, and Excite, a good shot into heaven with the Sheriff. West Virginia might be able to take this one out.
Yeah, that was very, very important. Oh no.
Great slide, but you lose the only Phantom left, and you're stuck with now one Sheriff up against 2 guns, and can't do much about that. Cumberland increases their lead 4-1.
Yeah, and a very nice round there by, I believe, who did you say that 12 is?
I believe that is Case.
Case, yeah, a very nice round there by Case. I do believe that was 3 kills for him. And again, it's just a little bit of that rushing tendency. I don't love it. We need to be a little bit slower and just really plan out these plays just a tad bit more. Feels like it is trying to be go, go, go when it seems that Cumberland is very, very ready to respond to that.
Absolutely, and West Virginia finally getting full shields except for Inox. Still needing to buy that light. And A77 is going to throw that Cypher camera over towards mid, get a little bit of a sight line, and that Sova dart doesn't scan anyone on the A site. Dinks going to try to take space regardless, looking at door, and a good little counter swing there from Guck. Takes it, but then swings out into Geo. Geo, 2 already on the round. West Virginia's down 4 players to 3. A77 playing down in sewer, looking to take out Geo. He will not have the position.
A little bit of over aggressiveness there from Dinks, trying to go for more kills than he's worth. But hold on now, Inox gets 1, gets 2, and Excite there to back him up. But Foxy's going to be able to shut him down real quick. But
Excite gets another. Now it's finally a 2v1 in favor of West Virginia. Very, very well played after Dinks goes down on site, and the spike will be planted by A77.
Yeah, and now Case, the only one left with that ultimate, however.
Right here.
Excite gonna go heaven, try and gain some more information about where Case is.
Drone.
He might not get it. Smoke comes out on top. Just a little bit of a distraction as that spike ticks down more and more. It is a pressing matter here from Case. That shock dart going to try and interrupt this defuse. But it looks like the defuse may never come.
Peek with that
shock
scan
dart.
out. He gets the scan. A little bit of a wall bang. Case does not have time for this. He's just going to try to look to get exit kills, and he does get A77. Excite is going to look to put an end to this run now, and he does. And West Virginia gets back into the winning column, still down 2 rounds, 4-2.
Yeah, but it is better than being down, say, 9-2. Mountaineers able to kind of stop some of that bleeding before it gets too bad, save a gun, and perhaps get a little bit ahead on that econ as we're going to wait and see what Dinks here. Full shields, but might just be going in with the classic, actually ready to go in with that ultimate. So I would not be surprised here if it is just that classic that he ends up with. Full rifles otherwise for the Mountaineers as they are currently heading towards this C site.
Absolutely. Excite going to drone early here on C, and we're going to see a neon ult come out from Dinks. Running into Garage, taking out the trip early, and Chase is going to get A77 early here, so West Virginia is down their Cypher for the remainder of this round. Dinks sitting in the smoke here. Over on CT, Excite's going to scan into Garage. They do get the plan down early, but all 4 players playing pretty close. Yeah, looks like all 4 of them are going to try to play long here.
Yeah, very
Dinks no longer with his finger guns, by the way.
Yeah. Very interesting position taken here, but it looks like it might be able to work out. Inox sends in a blind, but the defuse is coming down. Looks like they're going to stick it.
And the stick goes through. Pros don't fake. The sprays don't hit. And Cumberland puts a stop to this West Virginia run of 2 wins. And now back up 3 rounds, 5-2. I mean, I like the idea of putting your 4 guys down C long to kind of spray through that smoke, but when you lose your neon ult and he just has a classic, I mean, you're not going to hit those sprays, especially with just Vandals alive as well. So, I mean, Cumberland stuck it, they body blocked, and it worked out, and now West Virginia back on the back foot.
Yeah, and even though they lost that round, we do see still that essentially equal econ, because Cumberland might have won the round, but they certainly did not win in terms of bodies. But oh, goodness gracious, it looks like we have a kill coming in to Excite. Very unfortunate, but the refrag is there from Dinks.
D77 throwing both of his cages for Dinks to back up into if he needs, and he's going to get aggressive here and walk into the smoke. I believe, no, the smoke does go away, and he dodges the ult. And what a double kill from Dinks, showing off his aim, and when it matters, gets the last one as well. That is a 4K from Dinks. Great play there.
Yeah, and you have to be feeling good if you're Dinks getting back to that fragging mode. I feel like we haven't really seen that on this map yet, and that is exactly what we need to continue to see if the Mountaineers want to get back into this game. Now still only down 2 maps, a little bit still on that back foot in terms of econ, but working their way back up.
I mean, before that round, Dinks was 2-5.
Yeah.
He's now finally in the positive in terms of the kill column, up to 6-5 after 4K, but when it matters, he pulls out those crazy fight wins, and here's Guck gonna throw his blind into the Neon ult. Chase seems to have it every other round the way they've been playing, but Guck shuts it down, and now West Virginia is aware Cumberland is down their duelist, and West Virginia might get a decent execute if played correctly.
Yeah, and look at Excite here, gonna get a little bit of information, but does he see Jay Chronic?
He knows he's sitting there with the shorty.
A77 able to take out 2, and that's
Great
going to be a
lurk.
free C site.
Well, it was barely a lurk. The 2 Cumberland players just walked out of garage and tried to commit to that fight with A77. And A77 takes them out, and Excite gets 1. He had no idea Jay Chronic was in that corner, but just has a shorty out for now, and Jay Chronic is going to peek a little bit with that shorty and realize that this is all for naught and run back and maybe save a gun.
Yeah, and it looks like the Mountaineers are going to close in on him. They're not letting their ex-teammate get away. That's
shorty,
a
shorty.
shorty kill from Excite.
Excite says, you have a shorty? Well, I do too, and you're going to taste it. And now,
Not ready yet.
West Virginia, back in the will column, down 1, 5-4.
Yeah, and very, very important that the Mountaineers win that there, and that really looked good. I loved what they did there. They put Excite anchored down on, pardon me, that A site, and then they were just able to get the kills. That's all you got to do. Trust that your aim is going to be there, and that's exactly what they did.
West Virginia with 3 ults up on the board now. They tried to get a little bit aggressive with that Omen ult last time they had it, and it didn't really work out to their advantage, so they might hold on to that one a little bit longer. The stone comes out from Jay Chronic, but Dinks jumps through it, clicks one head, clicks a second. No one is safe when Dinks is sliding in to your sight.
Yeah, and I mean, how about that? Like I said, trust the aim will be there, and you'll be okay. A77 going down, but look at that blind, and it does not matter. Guck is going to be able to take down Geo, and the Mountaineers in a very, very advantageous position, now getting the plant onto A.
Finally taking advantage of the map. We haven't seen them really work all of the map. A lot of C site fights, a lot of A site fights. Not much around B, but I mean, if you're winning the rounds on A, you might as well keep going to it. And now West Virginia, with all 4 players in a decent setup, and Cumberland is going to look to save these guns down 2-4.
Yeah, and it's going to be very difficult, though, because they know Geo's up there. But what are they going to be able to do, especially if they chase him? Inox now getting a little more information, perhaps knowing that he has since retreated. Like you said, though, if they are winning these rounds on A, or if they're winning the rounds on C, and you know, we actually saw some of the worst rounds really happen when they tried to get aggressive on that B point, and ooh, a lot going down. It's going to be just one side, one member per side for each team after that. But look, it looks like we're going to have a timeout here from Cumberland. And, you know, I don't hate the timeout, but also at the same time, you're not doing that bad.
I mean, West Virginia does tie it up 5-5, but I mean, like we said, Haven can generally be that attacker-sided map. So, you know, you don't want to be tied going into half, really, if you're West Virginia. So, I mean, I get it. You lose a few rounds in a row. You need that timeout. West Virginia does have 4 ults on the other side of this timeout. So maybe game planning around what ult they might use, what to do if they use which ones. But either
Well, I do
way,
believe it was a Cumberland timeout.
it was a Cumberland timeout.
Yeah.
So maybe, you know, whatever ults West Virginia might use, how to play around those. But
Yeah.
either way, both teams, their eco isn't looking that great. West Virginia does have the guns. But, you know, if Cumberland can take a round, West Virginia's eco is going to be right back down where it was a few rounds ago.
And that is the troubles of being tied here. Is that, you know, whichever time you win or lose, you're going to be ahead or you're going to be behind. It's not really going to be that significantly ahead or significantly behind. And we'll probably see that for the rest of the half.
Absolutely. And now West Virginia is going to look to maybe poke around at Garage here a little bit like they tried to earlier in the match, and nothing really came of it. And here we see Cumberland, 3 sheriffs and a bulldog. And now Dinks. The camera comes out early there from Cumberland. So West Virginia kind of stalling out holding this garage for a walkout, and it doesn't seem like we're going to see one. They will walk out B main, however. Excite sitting in window. Another crossfire angle on to that garage exit. The drone will be used. Oh, what a blind. Another great blind from Inox to take out that Neon early. And now you can kind of just choose wherever you want to go. You know that there are multiple players on that B site. I mean, you don't know which ones are going to go to A or C, but, you know, one piece of information and you kind of get a free plant.
Yeah, and I mean, a very nice kill there by Dinks. Just really
I
trusting
know
his
exactly
lines,
where
going out. And look at this, the Cypher ult going to be committed from the Mountaineers. I love this play here. Really gives you information of where you can go plant. And look at this, they are going to get especially
Foxy and taken out by Guck.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. He kind of just got caught out there by the other team's Cypher ult, and it was really just an SOL situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And now the 3 remaining players of Cumberland, looks like we're going to see one maybe take a walk down into garage, but looks like a full CT retake here. But, oh no, they might be saving. We see Jay Chronic holding that crossfire over on CT along with Case. And
yeah, I really don't hate the idea of a save here from Cumberland. It is not an really a winnable position at all unless you're
Inox
talking
and
about
Dinks getting
fragging.
greedy.
Hold on now.
Jay Chronic gets 2, Case gets 1, and so
One enemy remaining.
I mean, A77 is really trusting. There's no time left on the defuse. I mean, there absolutely was not, but doesn't matter. A77 with a clutch would have won either way, but might as well put a ribbon on it with that insane 4K.
Yeah, and I mean, just a little bit of an interesting way for that round to play out. The Mountaineers getting aggressive and kind of getting punished for it, if we're being honest here. But A77 is able to keep his cool and come back on top. Mountaineers now, finally, for the first time in this match, in the lead.
Yeah, and we're going to see Case on that Omen take a shot with the Operator here for this last defensive round of the half for Cumberland. In a similar little split here from West Virginia, but no, Dinks is going to get aggressive here. Wall in with his ult onto B side, a shock. Great place. Shock there from Dinks. He gets 2. A77 gets 1 with that Phantom. Wow, and as quick as the round starts, it ends. Jay Chronic and Guck doing it basically
Switching sides.
with a broom and dustpan. Just get out of my sight.
I think you said Jay Chronic there.
I said Dinks and did I say?
I think you said Jay
Did I?
Chronic. You want him back so bad.
No, it was Guck. Dinks and Guck
There you go.
sweeping it up. I mean, the finger guns from Dinks
Yeah.
catch 2, Guck
didn't-
catches 2, A77 catches 1. I mean,
I didn't even really have time to process that. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, I mean, as quick as you wall in as Neon, you get a couple, and the round's just over.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
I don't know what else to say.
Just a little bit insane. Now the Mountaineers are just 5 wins away from taking this 2-0.
Yeah, absolutely, and they got to be careful on this defensive half. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I hate to beat a dead horse, but Haven, relatively attacker-sided map, and, you know, we saw West Virginia struggle a little bit defending Sunset. So, you know, here on the pistol round, it looks like they're going to try out a little bit of a death ball down here on C main, but nothing to come of it, so they all will run back into garage.
Yeah, and a little bit of a splintered attack here from Cumberland with a heavy focus going from mid to garage, and it looks like the peak is going to be from the Neon first. The blind doesn't hit anybody. Guck just waiting for him to peek around this corner.
Geo from the stone, and Guck gets the first headshot but can't follow it up, and Chase with the ghost takes him out early, and now West Virginia down a player. However, that Neon very low for Cumberland, and Dinks still playing around this kind of flank idea. Will he commit and break that Cypher trip? And he does, and he runs out into the spawn, and we're going to see a full execute from Cumberland on to this A site.
Yeah, and I mean, this is kind of the pistol round that we are accustomed to. Mountaineers on the back foot already as the plant is going to come in
30
from
seconds
Geo
left.
A77 in the
Spike
middle of
planted.
that smoke, and Excite trying to get a kill, but it's not necessarily going to come.
And now with 3v5, 2 players from Cumberland at very low HP, so this very well could be winnable if West Virginia can single out the right gun duels. But with where the spike's planted and 3 players playing down in sewer, and with the breach utility, this is looking all but 1 for West Virginia.
Yeah, I mean, look at that
Good
headshot
shot from
there.
Sight,
From
though.
Sight.
Dinks gets one, can't get any more though, and Cumberland cuts the lead down 6-7.
Yeah, and that's
Remember,
not really what you
bullets
wanted
hurt.
to see there. You almost hope the Mountaineers would have been able to come in with a stronger lead into the half, because now you lose the pistol round, which again is not your strong suit, and now you're just up 1 and your eco's already down.
Go, go, go.
Absolutely, and West Virginia, I mean, once again, like you said, losing a pistol round, Cumberland is going to buy a little bit here. I mean, you get a typical anti-eco there. A Vandal, a couple Bulldogs, and it looks like they're going to be favoring the C site. All 5 players might just rush here knowing they have the better weapons, and Dinks with just the classic looking for the dart to break it, but still it gets revealed. Gut goes down. A77 with the Sheriff gets one, gets a second, and
Spike
it's
down,
even.
C.
West Virginia have the worst guns, but it's still a 2v2 for this retake.
Yeah, and if you look, I honestly like the breach
That's
over
not
the
ready.
Omen here.
Spike
Just
planted.
a little bit more distance ability, if you ask me. And now Inox slowly creeping into the site, trying to get some information as Cumberland now backs up into this main A.
Yeah, Cumberland's throwing that typical one-way onto the spike.
Beautiful blind.
Inox does get the blind. He's going to throw the aftershock, force them out a little bit. They do have a Sheriff to work with. Gets one, gets another with the aftershock from Inox and West Virginia.
Thanks.
Doesn't matter if you're down guns. They still take the 2v2,
Thrifty.
and they increase that lead 8-6 with a thrifty round.
Yeah, very nice. That is what you want to see. Inox really showing his prowess there. Just you have to in that comment was, all right, we're gonna get one here. Get ready for this blind.
Yep. Absolutely perfectly timed stun, followed by that aftershock. Works wonders when you're trying to clear cubbies. And Cumberland with a stinger and a Bucky. West Virginia, they get the 3 full buys, and it looks like Excite and Inox are going to bonus with those Bulldogs. So, West Virginia finally, kind of taking the advantage here, but not when Dinks gets capped by a Sheriff there that early. Still winnable if they can trade it out with that Bulldog, but looks like Excite's just going to throw a shock dart and try to back. No, he's going to stay and keep jump peeking, but
Yeah, very dangerous game he's playing here, especially
Look for an
given the
Inox stun, I
information that
think.
he does not know.
yeah, the aftershock with the smoke comes out. Cumberland wasn't up quite that far just yet. A little spam through the smoke with that Phantom, but
Right here.
not going to get any of that chip damage. West Virginia down a player. And Cumberland is still just lurking around this kind of A main area. They have the 2 lurkers, over in Garage, but nobody's really made a move yet. Excite still playing for this 1v1.
Yeah, but again, I don't hate this. This is what we wanted to see the Mountaineers do. On that attack, Guck able to get one, Excite gets the other. And hold your horses, it's a 3v3.
Throws the blind, and A77 got caught out in that cubby, and he peeked before the smoke goes down,
30
and
seconds left.
Case cleans him up with that Sheriff. WVU once again down a player. They're going to swap guns, so Inox has that Phantom.
Spike
Here comes the
planted.
drone from Guck. Some spam will go through the smokes, and Inox is just going to walk in, it looks like. They have the crossfire. He's going to have to choose his target wisely. Pick your poison, if you will. If you're Inox, a good blind, but can't clean it up, and West Virginia gets taken out. And just like that, we're back to another thrifty.
Yeah.
And Cumberland decreases the lead back to 1
Yeah,
round.
and it is a very, very hard back and forth here between the attacking and the defending wins. It is very, very hard not to wonder what is working and why are we not continuing to do that. And it looks like a bit of a broken buy here from the Mountaineers, 2 Vandals and the rest Sheriffs. Now giving Inox a little bit more of that opportunity to go in, as we've seen him do. And you have to wonder, where is Dinks in all of this? We have not really been calling his name aside from that 4K in the first half. Mountaineers still only up by 1, attempting to push up far into C, perhaps get Cumberland a little bit uncomfortable, but Cumberland is really just sitting back in their spawn, perhaps attempting to push up this mid soon here.
Absolutely. It looks like Inox is going to be holding a bit close here with that Bulldog. And both teams in a stalemate. I mean, a default here from Cumberland. I'm not sure what they're thinking or what the call is going to be, but Excite once again holding close up in that A long, and Inox gets the first one. First blood does get traded out, but Dinks gets another refrag. So West Virginia back up a player, and Dinks does pick up the Vandal and will be able to back up to B site. And West Virginia is in a great position. If A77 can not get caught, he's going to get aggressive here with the Sheriff playing in that cage. He's going to peek out. Great stun and a good blind, but Jay Chronic takes him out. And Dinks is looking to take this 1v1. I think he has the slide in his pocket. He doesn't need it, but Guck is there for the trade, and West Virginia takes the round. That is 3 thrifties in a row. I've never seen that.
And unfortunately here, I would say let's see another one, but that would include a Mountaineer loss. So let's not. Mountaineers need to keep pressing the advantage here. Look at this. The shorty and 4 rifles. Dinks hoping to perhaps get a little bit of aggressiveness with that ultimate. We've seen him do it before. I would not be surprised if we see it again. Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know how, but like, I guess the Valorant gods are just saying worst guns are going to win tonight.
Yeah, I guess so.
Either way, Excite is going to drone out early. He does have that Sova ult in his pocket, and he has been very, very efficient with it tonight.
Yeah, and unfortunately, no information there as the drone timer goes down just before he's able to turn that corner and see that there are 2 Cumberland members. Dinks waiting around this garage door, hoping that someone will peek him.
Cumberland still running a very slow default here, but we're going to see them pop that Neon ult and run up into sewers. Inox will be there for the stun. Looks like he's waiting for it, waiting for Dinks to come out and be in position to fire.
A77 just holding this camera, hoping to catch the Neon off guard as she attempts to run in here, but it looks like we actually might see a B push.
Yeah, there's a smoke on B, and Spike is looking through window. It's just that Neon for Cumberland hanging out over in sewers. An early concuss here from Inox, followed by an aftershock. He will throw the thrash, nobody there to capitalize it, but that's going to force Cumberland back for another rotate, and they're going to fully commit on A, and I think West Virginia is sniffing that out. A77 up in heaven, gets the trip, but can't capitalize the kill. Not yet at least, but there it is. A77 getting a kill with the tripwire. That 5 damage really did its numbers there.
10 seconds left.
Yeah, and look at this.
Duck on the flank. Getting 1, getting 2. Can he get the 3rd? He can't, but it doesn't matter. No time to plant for Cumberland. Inox just has to stay alive for 0.1 seconds. He does, and West Virginia takes a 3-round lead, 10-7.
Yeah, and that is going to be very, very important here. The Mountaineers kind of just barely scraping by as they win that round. I'd like to see a little bit more confidence, and perhaps that comes with some ultimate usage here. Perhaps with that Cypher ult, gaining that information can be so valuable. But look at that other side, 4 ultimates, all of them online. And I do believe, unfortunately, that was the first time we saw an A77 ult not come to fruition.
Yeah, but that was a great play there from A77. Great patience there to not force the issue, not over-peek or over-commit. Let his trips do the work. And also, we have Dinks with an operator in his hands on the Neon, and he's looking through sewers. A shot rings out, but can't get any hits with it. Excite's gonna break that drone, reveal his position. The blind goes in, he dodges, looking for a spray. He's gonna be concussed, and that is just bye-bye when a Neon slides and you're concussed. Here comes Dinks. Can he get the flick?
I know exactly where you are.
It's just insane.
This guy's just insane. Look at this.
I'll be honest, I didn't even realize that he killed him for a sec.
Yeah, I know. That's how insane he is. And now forcing a little bit of a misdirection here, but they will get the plant onto B.
West Virginia is down a player. The operator's still in hand.
Behind him.
Yeah, I don't think Guck knows. A little bit of a late lurk here from that Cumberland breach. Now Guck walking in. Jay Chronic right on the corner. He spots his gun. Great job from Guck to get that little wallbang kill. The breach is going to throw an aftershock straight onto the spike. Guck's going to tap. He will get stunned, and he's going to force it to half. He can't quite half it, but he gets the kill. And now it's an even 2v2. Dinks with a Vandal now. Can't secure the kill. Guck doesn't stick. Gio's 1 HP, and he takes out Guck.
Very, very close there. I mean, 5 HP and just not able to come out on top.
So close to the stick, but when it's a breach with that much stunning potential and util, I mean, no aftershock to be used, but still you have to be wary of those flashes. So Guck playing a little safe, not sticking, and they lose the round, but you know, Cumberland still pretty low on econ despite having full buys.
Yeah, and the Mountaineers still up 2 rounds. They need to keep this up, need another round win here in hopes of getting to that lucky 13.
And 11-8 is a much different universe than 10-9. So this is a very important eco round for this West Virginia team. A77 whiffing the Cypher trip a little bit, but we'll break it in the end. Excite is going to be jiggle peeking this A long again with the Sheriff, and I'm not exactly sure why he's out there that long, but he gets punished for it. Chase takes him out, and it looks like they're just going to walk A now. Blend from Inox to pick up that Sheriff, and once again getting caught out.
Now with the Bulldog trying to go, but A77 coming from behind gets a kill, and the Cypher ult's going to come out and attempt to win. This
They don't know Guck's there.
Oh, very
And
low.
he tries that kill with the ADS, can't hit the head, and goes down for it. A77 picking up the Vandal, gets 1. And he's going to try to fight this. It's a 1v2. He now has a Vandal, but 45 HP.
Spike planted.
Not ideal. Being very wary of that heaven angle that Neon is shift walking up into. He will try to throw a camera, but can't quite get it from that range, so he doesn't know the Neon's about to peek out heaven, but he will walk into CT to avoid it.
Yeah, this is going to be very close. They're really going to try everything in their power to
He's assuming there's someone heaven, but the stun comes out. A77 goes down, and now we have a game. It's 10-9.
Yeah, and it's getting a little too close for comfort here as the Mountaineers now drop 2 in a row. That is not good for their econ and also just not good for the morale. They need to keep this up. A full buy here from the Mountaineers, hoping to come out on top, as well as a full buy from Cumberland. So we're going to see a pretty explosive round no matter what. The ult advantage is heavily in favor of Cumberland, though.
Yeah, and we've been seeing those early peaks from this West Virginia team from the likes of Excite, sometimes Inox, and sometimes Dinks. When you have the guns, you know, you can kind of let it slide to peek out those long sights a little bit early, but when you have a Sheriff, I mean, why force the issue there? No, A77 is going to get stunned, but a little bit safe in his cage, and an Omen smoke. Just going to spray Guck. Taken out by the finger guns from Chase, and A77 is going to be forced to walk into garage here. West Virginia once again down a player. That Omen going down first. It was a big issue on Sunset in those lost rounds. Losing your smoke that early is not ideal. Dinks evens up the numbers, but Cumberland does have the smokes for those one-ways.
Yeah, and I mean, look at this position here. They're able to just hold long. The cage going down, perhaps going for a little bit of a diffuse.
It's 1.
Foxy able to take down 2, though, and now it's a 2v3 scenario.
Flash the Sova ult.
Last player standing.
Dinks is going to slide and try to get another, but he can't, and that's a 4K from Foxy. And now we're all tied up. I mean, like we said on that eco round, 11-8 is a much different world than 10-9, and now we're at 10-10.
Yeah, exactly. And you have to wonder, what is WVU's goal here? Is it to come out 13-10, or is it to try and scrape to an overtime scenario? Because look, if you ask me, it looks like they're not really fighting for a dominant win here. They need to be a little bit more decisive, and by decisive, I don't mean run out and get killed.
Exactly, and now back on the Sheriffs. 4 Sheriffs and a Stinger for Dinks. A77 throwing an aggressive camera there to try to peek out the C angle, and he does see the Omen. And if Omen's there, he's going to assume that the Neon is there as well. He's forced to back up.
Yeah, and look, I don't hate the aggressive camera there because, look, information.
Great camera, and Dinks is able to take out Foxy, so West Virginia shuts down the lurk, but now Dinks is going to be running B, and Cumberland still deciding where they want to go. It's now a 4v4 with Jay Chronic at half HP. And Spike is down, still over by C. They're going to be trying to get some more information over towards that A site, over towards mid, but looks like a bit of a default here.
Yeah, and it's going to be pretty easy here for Dinks now, picking up that Vandal from the corpse of, I believe.
Excite with a great angle here in the cubby. Good trigger discipline. I think he's waiting for a third one to follow. But Neon's going to clear it, and he doesn't get the kill.
No.
Good trigger discipline. I appreciate the attempt, but even better game sense from Neon on Cumberland to check that corner. Does get traded out, though, so they gave A77 the gun, so Dinks can kind of bait himself a little bit here with that Sheriff. He does have the finger guns, but I don't think he's going to use them.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if that popped here. Oh my goodness gracious.
Enox doesn't expect the Cypher to be holding that.
Yeah.
Oh, but here come the finger guns from Dinks. He's going to commit.
Last player
Can he
standing.
get one? He gets one. But now it's a 1v2. A77 does have the Vandal, though. Is he going to drop this? I don't know if he should with a player in sewers. He does drop, take the damage, and he can't get the kill on a Geo. And just like that, Cumberland takes the lead 11-10.
Yeah, and it's looking very, very hairy here for the Mountaineers, 11-10. And here comes a timeout from Coach Terms. You had to expect that after a significant amount of losses in a row. That's 4 rounds that the Mountaineers dropped. Look, what's going wrong here, Gabe?
I mean, like, the more I look at it, these early peaks are insane.
Yeah.
I mean, we have Excite on these long, aggressive angles. I do like Dinks kind of playing that anti-lurk Neon, kind of playing around that B, playing around the garage, you know, looking for that Cypher. But when you're down on the guns and you know that Neon's just going to run at you on sight, I mean, you got to come up with something a little bit more creative.
Yeah, I completely agree. We're not really seeing that evil genius mastermind Inox come up with anything too crazy here like we're used to. We saw a great example of that on Sunset.
Yeah.
We saw some really, really nice stuff. So I'm just a little bit confused on what is now changing from then to now.
Absolutely. The post plants have been night and day.
Yeah.
Post plants on Sunset were great, and now we're getting into this Haven match, and haven't really won a post plant yet on defense.
Yeah, it is not great, and the Mountaineers need to figure something out and figure it out soon, as they only have 2 left before this goes 1-1.
This is a nice spot. This goes here.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're seeing A77 once again setting up on the A site. And Excite again on an aggressive angle. Will get a smoke, though, early, so he's going to dart and back up.
Right here.
Yeah, and there, I don't hate the aggressiveness, but if he had stayed there for a little bit longer,
No,
that's
absolutely.
where the problem comes.
This is where you need your Sova. You need your Sova playing around mid where you can use all your util. Try to shut down any hard rushes, but Dinks playing backside B. Everybody taking in a deep breath. I think both teams are feeling the pressure of the situation. Both teams, relatively good buys. West Virginia have rifles with no shield, though, so they have to be very careful on what angles they take and what fights they decide to commit on. Inox will dodge that Sova drone. A one-way goes in to those garage doors, and great shot there from Guck. Case was not expecting him to be playing up on that high angle. However, Chase is going to be walking in through garage, and can Guck clear him out? He can't. He gets a little bit of chip damage. Actually, no, he whiffed. Now Dinks is going to chase him
30
down through
seconds
garage. But they get away, and they're going to go look to plant A.
Found my wire.
They have to go through that Cypher util, but they do break that first trip. A77 throwing up his cages, playing in Heaven again. Looks like Jay Chronic is expecting that Heaven play from Cypher.
Yeah, it's going to force him to play a little bit more careful, and Dinks just running in. Here comes the ultimate, though.
And
Is
you
he gonna
get that
get anybody
Cypher.
Excite? Yes!
And he needs to plant now.
Spike planted.
They do get the plant down. A77 gets the kill up in Heaven. It's a 2v2 with A77 at half HP. Inox 80 HP with no shield.
Yeah, this one is cutting it close. No ultimates. Blind.
Aftershock is coming through, forces out Jay Chronic, and Inox with another kill to clear up the round. Following the Excite Sova ult, which he still remains perfect on for the night.
Yeah.
Inox the Aftershock forcing out Jay Chronic, getting one, getting another over by that sewer box, and man, what a play there from Inox.
And look, that is the creativeness that we're talking about. We need Inox to be that guy. If he's not calling, he can do it himself. He absolutely has the talent to do so, and you just saw it in that round. And now the Mountaineers are going to need 2 straight if they want to avoid overtime.
Yeah, finally, they have the loadout advantage, though. Actually, no, it looks like Cumberland might have the money. They do. 4 Vandals, 4 Full Shield, and a Guardian Flight Shield. So both teams with relatively identical buys. The Concuss is going to come out early here from Inox. He's going to slow walk back to CT, but Cumberland still with 3 overplaying towards A. The blind's going to go out in sewers, but it's hard to say what Cumberland's going to do. They've been a little bit, indecisive on what sites to hit.
Yeah, and it looks like we are going to see a little bit focus on this B, but it almost looks like they're going to split up and send some to C and maybe try and get some early picks here. But it looks like the Mountaineers are pretty well prepared for this, and it looks like they're actually going to go further, and it looks like a commit onto C here through Garage. The Mountaineers need to get this kill right here. Inox sees him, takes them out.
First. Great shot. His crosshair is glued to heads tonight, and we're going to see another concussed. Dinks holding that aggressive angle up in Cubby. A77 spots the Neon. No idea the camera's there, and he's still up in heaven. I'm not sure if Chase is going to expect that.
It looks like he
Will,
is.
yeah, he's holding that heaven angle. They will throw a smoke. Little shock dart lineup might be able to delay this for Cumberland, but it's not going to do too much. All 4 remaining players on Cumberland playing very good angles. Jay Chronic once again playing behind the dice. We're seeing another lineup from Excite. It looks like, and Dinks over in sewer gets 1. The blind comes out from Guck. Sets up Dinks for another. It looks like West Virginia takes it, and they do. They're going to increase this lead 12-11.
And Dinks with a 3K there to help the Mountaineers get there. They are now at game point.
And this is what we were talking about pregame. Can these new teammates set up Dinks for the kills? And it looks like they can. A great dart to give him the info. A great blind to give him a free kill on the Sova. And now, the last timeout is going to come from Cumberland. And they're going to be cooking up right now.
I mean, they have to. And not only that, but if you cook up for this round, you need to cook up for overtime.
Exactly.
So there is a lot at stake here. The Mountaineers trying to go home, go to their beds a little bit earlier tonight. I mean, look, we are. Can't complain there. But Cumberland still fighting to stay in this thing because, look, even if they win this round, like I said, they have to get through that overtime.
Absolutely.
And that is going to be very, very difficult because then you talk about taking away that econ, you take away everything, and it is just who can come out on top.
And, I mean, it looks like Cumberland's not going to have a full buy here, so they're going to be playing from behind in terms of loadouts. And once again, but, we've seen, 3, 4 thrifties already this map, so anything can happen. West Virginia can't afford anything like an op, so we're not going to see Dinks holding long angles over on C. I'm interested to see where Excite plays, because he went from playing that long angle on A to kind of jiggle peeking Garage a little bit.
Yeah.
So, anything can happen with this last round, and we're going to see a Bucky from this Neon. Whew. Yeah, so a Bucky, 2 Vandals, a Sheriff, and a Guardian. Everyone with full shields, but the Omen for Cumberland. West Virginia with the loadout advantage. They're going to have to play this safe, and they're going to have to play this well to send this 13-11 rather than overtime. And with that Bucky, Cumberland sending their Neon up sewers early. Excite's holding main.
Yeah, not going aggressive like he usually does, and that's what you wanted to see here, so let's see if it ends up working out. Here comes that wall.
Yeah, that wall's going to give him a free walk over into that Cubby, but a stun. Excite takes him out. This is exactly what you need if you're West Virginia. You need an early pick, a careless walk out there from Neon. And now he's 77. Going to cage that Garage and back off. Everybody for West Virginia is going to be playing very slow now, holding these angles. The drone comes out, might have spotted someone in sewer. It's hard to tell if he caught the legs of that Omen or not, but still 3 players for Cumberland in those sewers, and good anti-flash from Excite. Forced to run behind the dice. Dinks is going to try to tank the Aftershock a little bit and slide out. He's going to swing Sova, gets blinded. Playing in that wall, very, very well played there from Dinks and Excite. to keep their lives. Duck gets the kill onto Foxy, and now Cumberland is going to full rotate over towards C. West Virginia can smell the victory. Guck gets another. Great scan. They know both players are there. Guck gets another, and it's just Geo and to no avail. Cumberland with an almost great comeback there. West Virginia cleans it up 13-11 off of Inox's calling.
Yeah, and look, that last round is what you needed. They were able to use their util very, very well, able to come out on top and avoid that overtime and avoid a potential map 3. That is not what they wanted here. But look, the Mountaineers come out on top, not necessarily in a dominant fashion, but they do get the win nonetheless. And look, this is exactly what we expected. I said, we don't know how they play. We don't necessarily know what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
But I will say, Will is back with us. Will, what do you think?
That was I really enjoyed that second map there. Western able to come together. They were looking good. Came off to a slow start, got control, leading into the half, came in the second half, winning a couple rounds. I think it was 8-11, something like that, or maybe 10-7, and then
It was 10-9,
Cumberland starts fighting back, winning a couple in a row, gets all the way to 11, and West Virginia closes out. Really impressive stuff there. I mean, I think we saw a lot of the leadership come through on the side of Enox, and then I think, our new guys really showed their stuff here and showed why they're here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a great point. The adaptability of the new guys really shone through. I mean, we saw those insane ego peaks from Excite, and kind of, it's hard to tell if that was Inox in his ear telling him to back up or if he decided let's play something a little bit different. But he started playing over towards Garage more. He started playing a little bit more backside, holding that sewers angle, and it worked like a charm. Yeah. They ended up taking it.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can't really ask for anything more. Perhaps a little 13-0, but that's never going to happen when you're in the Super Conference. And look, this gives them a lot of confidence in themselves because it's your first match. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how the outcome's going to be. And this is going to be a message to the rest of the Super Conference. Hey, West Virginia, despite these three new roster members, they're still here to play, and their expectations are going to be met.
Yeah, they're back.
Yeah.
And, to add on to that, 2 wins on 2 maps we haven't seen them play in a year.
Yeah, I mean, look, the win on Sunset is just should be enough for the rest of the Super Conference.
Haven wasn't in the map pool in either semesters last year. So, or no, it was last fall. So we haven't seen it since last fall before Sunset even came out. So, long time coming for these wins. Great debut for these 3 new roster members. I'm excited to see what they pull out for their match next week. Yeah. But, it will if you want to close us out.
Well, I mean, I want to talk just for a minute about Sunset map. Dare I say, a bit of a trap set by West Virginia. If anyone knows the struggles that they've had on the map, who other than Jay Chronic, and I'm sure they had a conversation. Hey, Jay Chronic, what map should we go against West Virginia? It's like, oh, they can't play Sunset. They don't scrim Sunset. Little they know, West Virginia scrimming Sunset 20 hours a week. The best team on that map in the league. So, I mean, that's obviously speculation, but,
Jay Chronic, if you ever see this, Jay Chronic, which you probably will, I think he's going to watch this just because he loves us.
I'll text him.
But I'm going to text him too. If you pick Sunset, good on you. Great idea. But unfortunately, it didn't work out in your favor. West Virginia did take it.
Played right into our hands, really.
Right into our hands.
Okay, so are we good? I think we are good to go, guys. Thank you guys all for staying with us. It was a great win, a great day to be the Mountaineer, wherever you may be. I had to steal that one, but it's a classic.
I love it. Keep it up.
Thank you guys all for watching. We hope you enjoyed as much as we did, and we will see you guys on the next stream.